Alright, good afternoon. I am playing my Big Country Football League 1952, Week 6, Game 2. I had this planned for 8:10. Clearly, it is 8:15. I am 5 days late on this particular game. So, Big Country Football Time, this is the only version of Football Time with the D66 engine and the Stat Generation engine in it now. You can, of course, get Big Country Football Time in the Big Country Time Sports, as Time Sports 4, all have a Football Time version. This one, though, is just football with all the football stuff. So if all you care about is football, this would be the way to go if you want the Football Time game. So we have, again, Game 2 is Coaldale, 3-2 Coaldale against 2-3 Unionville. Let me set this right there. This particular game, again, features the event chart. Again, not a common addition. There were a couple of versions of this game that had the event chart and the touchdown table, but it is not in it's not in most of the Big Country or Time Sports compilations, because it's just it takes up too many pages. All right. So here we go. 3-2 Coaldale. This is a team trying to win a championship. They've been in the championship game the last 2 years, haven't been able to win. They were 7-1 last year, or 6-1 and lost the championship. 6-1? I think they were 6-1, lost the championship. 7-1, I can't remember. So that was their year. That was their year to get it all done. Unfortunately, it has not worked out for them. But again, we have owner Georgievich, who used to be the GM, used to be a player coach. Now he's just the GM head coach as well. Bell is the quarterback. Plum and Greg are the backs. Porter is the wide receiver. Brody's the tight end, and Wellington's the Z-back. The left side of the line is Watson and Gorman. Thomas at center. Right side is Slosser and Omeric. Punter is Banks. Belgrade is the place kicker. On defense, last year's top defensive lineman Kleinhaus, Washington and Johnson are the DTs, and Jolly is the opposite defensive lineman. Farmer, Pickford, and Lemke are the linebackers. Fairbanks and Jones are the corners. Williams and Lejeune are the safeties. Their return man is Benson. The Unionville Toughs, 3-2, they have never quite smelled a title, at least not in my playtest season of when I playtested everything before I wrote the books and everything and put the teams in the books in 47, and then my 48, 49, 50, 51, and now 52. They have not been a very challenging team, but they are, okay. Their owner is Brandeis Steel, a company. John Brandeis is the GM, and Tucci, my former quarterback with Porter Bay, who won the championship for me when I was the coach of Porter Bay. When I was the coach of Paradise City, before I became owner of Porter Bay. Tucci was my quarterback when we won that first championship in 48. So Tucci's been the head coach of Unionville for quite some time. Long story short, we got Hill at quarterback, Everett and Jackson are the backs, Swanson is the wide receiver, McDonald tight end, Lord is the Z-back. The left side of the line is Andrews and Keefe. Center is McDowell, and the right guard O'Connell, and right tackle as well. Turner's the punter. Olga is the place kicker. This team runs a 34, or in 1952, this would have been more like the Oklahoma defense, or again, what might have been called later the Eagle defense. 3 down linemen and 5 backers. Weatherspoon and North, Swilling and Ronald, the outside backers. Dawson and Emery are the inside linebackers. Cornerbacks are Esther and Moulton. Martin and Richards are the safeties. Sampson is the kick returner. So we're going to play the first 3 quarters with the base game, and then I'll probably play the 4th quarter with the D66 simulator. All right, so Unionville will get the kickoff, and again, we're going to go ahead and roll, find out what they do. Well, we got to get their matchups first, so let's get their matchups. Central City, one of the best teams in the league the last few years. Central City, Coaldale, excuse me. Coaldale is a B versus C. B versus C is B, so Coaldale's going to have a pretty good offense. And Unionville is D versus B. D versus B is D. So Unionville should get beaten, but we'll find out. Unionville gets the ball in the kickoff. And 2, they're going to have an event. Uh-oh. And that event is 4. It's going to be a quarterback is sacked by the defensive lineman. That's going to be Kleinhaus. Remember, I use sequential stat keeping, so I don't have to keep rolling dice. What that means is I go with the top guy first. So Kleinhaus gets credit for the first sack in the game. And the quarterback fumbles the ball away. Fumble recovered by linebackers. So Kleinhaus and Farmer are involved. They are the 2 stars. So Hill sacked by Kleinhaus. And fumble recovery by Farmer. And there we go, folks. Again, I track box score highlights for defense. At the end of the year, the guys with the highest highlights end up being the award winners, right? All right, so Coaldale gets the ball. And again, we're not using the short field rule, right? It'll tell you on this event chart whether it's a short field. All right, here we go. Coaldale, one of the best teams in the league, is going to drive down the field on the B charts. And 5, they're going to score a touchdown. What kind of touchdown is it? It is 7-8. It is going to be a running back crossbuck run. Remember, I start, again, sequential. So Plum's the first back. So Plum with a run TD. Extra point is accounted for. And Unionville with a kick return is, Unionville with the event again. And 5, this time its offense has to punt. Add the return, and the return man has a long return. The opponent gets the B column. I already got the B column. Benson. So it's going to be punt, and Benson with a long punt return gives us the B column, which we already have for Coaldale. Coaldale, what do they do on the B column? 1, they're going to do event. Uh-oh, this could be horrible. 1, pick 6. Bellows is picked off. Bellows intercepted by, and we start with the top DB, Esther. And then, of course, we carry that over. Esther, remember, my games use what are called linear and literal possessions. Anytime you touch the ball and do anything with it, it counts as a possession. So Esther gets a pick 6. And folks, we got a ball game. It is Coaldale 7. Unionville technically scores at the top of the second quarter on that pick 6. So the gun would sound as he's returning that pick, and they go ahead and nod it for the second quarter. Coaldale with a kick, and what do they do on their next drive? 4. Coaldale's going to score a touchdown, and that touchdown is 7. Quarterback sideline pass to the receiver. So Bellows makes up for the pick 6 with a pass TD 2, and our top receiver is Porter. Wait, what did it say? It said receiver. Yeah, Porter. P-A-T. Coaldale gets the lead back. Holy cow, folks. This turned into a game. Unionville 3 on the D chart is punt. So Unionville punts, and Coaldale with a final drive before halftime is going to get 3, which is also a punt. And folks, it is 14-7 Coaldale. Unionville has been strip sack fumbled. Plum scored a touchdown, and then Bellows was picked off for Coaldale, and Unionville returned it for a touchdown. So both defenses have been pretty dang effective. All right, Coaldale starts with the ball to start the third. It's an event. Uh-oh. And that event is 3. The field goal is blocked by the DB, and the opponent uses the A column. Oh, so Unionville gets the A column, so we got a punt blocked. And they're going to get the A column. Unionville gets to use the best offensive chart in the game. So they block it, scoop it up, return it down inside the 10. Oh, and unfortunately, they're going to end up having to turn the ball over on a punt. So they might suffer like a 15-yard penalty and then a sack. Whatever may happen, they get backed up and end up punting it. That was their best chance to get an offensive touchdown, probably. Coaldale goes to work. 4 for Coaldale's a touchdown. Coaldale is one of the best teams in the league. 7-11. It's going to be a running back counter trade. This is going to be Greg. Remember, I sequentially moved down. Running back, Greg. Run TD, PAT on a counter trade. You usually run a counter trade with your fullback, right? You got your fullback behind your quarterback. You can have an H-back, but that counter tray is both guards go, center goes, tray, all three, and the fullbacks behind those three big men on a counter tray. Unbelievable. And Unionville gets the kick, and what do to end the third? 5 on the D chart. Touchdown. They do get in the end zone. We got a game, baby. 8-9. This is going to be running back power sweep. So this will be Everett into the end zone. Run TD. PAT is good. And folks, we had a blocked punt. Gave Unionville an A. They had to punt. Greg got a touchdown run for Coaldale, and then Everett got a touchdown run. It's 21-14, and we are about to start the fourth quarter. So now we go to the back, and we go to our full game charts. And, of course, Coaldale's going to get the kickoff, so let's go ahead and get our kick return here. Where's my kick return charts? Oh, here we go. All right, so B, he's going to return the ball out 27 yards. So Coaldale, being the visitor, returns this ball out to the 27 using my static special teams. And we're going to be using the B charts for their offense. And here we go, folks. I'll read these. I don't have a different color dice. I'll read them left to right, meaning the far leftist die counts as the top die. So you don't even need different color dice to play D66. You just count them read them left to right. So left to right would be 63. What's really good about this version of the game is you don't even have to worry about call and run or pass. It is completely automated. 63 is a pass for 23 yards. So Coaldale's Bellows drops back, finds Brody for 23. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, up to the 50. Nice, Coaldale. Coaldale snaps the ball. 14 is going to be a pass for 3. 1, 2, 3, second down and 7. Again, Bellows drops back, finds Greg, the fullback. They snap the ball. It's going to be 22. 22 is incomplete. Third down. Bellows, 3 passes in a row, and they're winning 21-7 on the road in Unionville. Third down. What will they do? It's going to be 41. 41 is a pass for 1. He drops back, waits, realizes he has to check it down to Plum. Plum, though, is hammered by the linebacker. Outside backer Swilling buries him. It is 4th down. They'll have no choice but to punt. Their punt on the B chart net is 37. So this would be a punt with return 10, 20, 37. Pins them at the 9. And the hometown Unionville punt, coffin corner. Unionville using the D charts. All right, here we go. The fans on their feet. Hill comes out of the huddle, waits for the fans to calm down before he calls the plays. Snaps the ball, 55. 55 is going to be a run for 7. He hands it off to Everett. Everett plows ahead for 7 up to the 16-yard line. It is 2nd down and 3. D-chart, 66. Touchdown. Holy cow, how do they score? I'm going to come back here. So the TD is left purposely blank. We don't know how they score, so we go back to the touchdown chart. And the reason I do that is it allows you to keep with a consistent touchdown chart. So it all jives. 9, 13. Quarterback, post pass to the receiver. So Hill drops back. And he's going to throw a pass TD. This happens to be, folks, of 84 yards. I'll put 84, although I'm not tracking yardage. And this is to the wide receiver, Swanson. PAT. Folks, it's 21-21. Unionville fans on their feet. And Coaldale returns the kick out to the 27. Coaldale, who has been one of the best teams in the league, is now in deep trouble, folks. Unbelievable. Tie game in the final quarter. This is their last drive, Coaldale. Now, I have a rule for what's called comeback rule. It lets you use your final 4 minutes offense, which lets you kick everything up a grade. However, this book does not feature that, so I'm going to play it rules as written. Here we go. 64. 64 is a run for 1 yard. So the quarterback drops back, flush from the pocket, scrambles for a yard. 51. 51 is a pass for 4. Beautiful. He dumps it to Greg. The fullback gets 4. 1, 2, 4. Third down. They have got to find a way to get those last 5 yards, 6 yards. Snaps the ball. 55. 55 is a run for 7. Quarterback flush from the pocket. rumbles for 7, past the stick, steps out of bounds. The crowd here is stunned as Bellows rumbles for a first down on a quarterback flush. Here we go. What will Bellows do? 21 is going to be a sack, loss of 7. Second down and 17. That's going to be a sack. 4, I don't know. So we get to go over here and roll sack chart. There's a sack chart here, folks. 6 is defensive lineman, so that would be this first guy. So Weathers, right? So we're going to have a sack for Weathers. Wow. Unionville determined to beat one of the best teams in the game. Second and long. Snaps the ball 36. Remember, left to right. 36 is a 5-yard run. So again, hands it off on a draw play to the big fullback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third and 12. Trying to get it into convertible distance. Snaps the ball 56. 14-yard run. They hand it off to Plum, hoping to force a tie because this team can afford to tie. Holy cow. They hand it off to Plum, hoping to set up a good punt. And folks, he gets 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. First down for Plum on a throwaway draw play, just trying to position the team. And the C-rated defense can't make the play. The crowd here now grumbling as it's 21-21 and Coaldale gets a huge third down run. 42. 42 is a pass for 6. Bellows drops back, looks, Pats, waits, fires for Brody. 6 yards to the tight end. Coaldale Miners, one of the best teams in football. Georgia Vic, getting the job done. That was a 2. 23. 23 is going to be pass for 10 and a first down. That'll be to Brody, the tight end, down the middle of the field. And the crowd here getting nervous as Coaldale only needs a score, and they'll have the lead and a chance to win this game. 44, handoff up the gut to Plum, nowhere. 2nd and 10, Plum hammered to the backfield by Dawson, right inside linebacker. 22 is going to be a pass for incomplete. Bellows drops, looks deep to Wellington down the right sideline. Ball falls harmlessly to the turf. 3rd and 10. 61 is going to be a drop back pass to Plum out of the backfield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 4th down and 5. And what do? They're going to kick a field goal from here. So their field goal on the B chart maximum is 36. They're at the 28. So they can. If I roll a 6, he misses. No, it's good. So Coaldale takes the lead. Belgrade with a 37-yard field goal. And 36 is the yard line, not the max. It's the maximum line of scrimmage. 36-yard field goal. Folks, this could be the game-winning field goal. Unionville on the D charts returns the ball out to the 23-yard line. 23-yard line, first down. And here we go. They're using the D charts. Can Unionville have another explosive touchdown to win this game? The fans on their feet. They calm themselves as Coach Tucci gives Hill one more pat on the butt as he leaves the huddle. Tells Hill, throw another one of them bombs for a touchdown. It's going to be 51. Tucci, my former quarterback that won the championship for me at Paradise City. 51. Kind of fun when you have a career. You can have all those kind of narratives. 51. Pass. He drops back under pressure. Heaves it out to Everett. Everett, though, is tackled immediately by Farmer, who's already recovered a fumble today. Snaps the ball. It's going to be 25. 25 drop back, looks, hands it off to Jackson, the fullback, for 4. 3rd down. Not the wisest choice for Hill, the quarterback. Snaps the ball. 23 is going to be a pass for 9 and a first down at the 37 as he drops back, finds Lord, his flanker. Here we go, folks. 21, not good. Sack, loss of 5. 2nd down and 15. Who gets that sack? Let's roll the die. 6, that's defensive lineman. Kleinhaus has already got one, so Washington gets the 2nd. Sack for Kleinhaus and Washington. So I just move down, and then we go back to the top if we have another DL. So it'll be Kleinhaus gets his sack today in a strip sack fumble. And Washington just collected a sack. It is 2nd down and long. Can Unionville pull this out? 45. 45 is a run for 6. Hands it off to Everett for 6. 3rd and 9. They get a lot of it back. It's not a bad call when they're just trying to get it into convertible down. And it's going to be 12. Not good. Sack. Loss of 7 down to the 31. 4th down. Who got that sack? 1. That's the safety. So the safety, Williams, comes flying in and he gets a sack. Again, I'm doing what's called sequential stats. So you go to the top of the unit and you just work down. So if there's sack, 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 and then back to the top if you happen to have a 4 or 5 defensive linemen getting sacks. And that guarantees your top player gets the first stat on the box scores. 4th down, they don't have a choice. They got to go for it, folks. There's only one way for them to get out of this hole. That's a touchdown. I got to roll a 66. And it'll be a 44. Not good enough. 44 is a quarterback scramble for nothing. He tries to run, gets hammered. It's going to be a tackle. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Game over. Time expires. End of game. And man, Coaldale dodged a bullet because Unionville tied it in the 4th, making it 21-21. Coaldale managed to get it 24-21. Coaldale is now 4-2. Unionville falls to 2-4. Let's come back up here. Coaldale wins 24-21. 4-2. Make sure here. And Unionville, 2-4. And let's see here. Let's make a note. 1, 2, 3 sacks. Coaldale defense rules the day. Coaldale 3 sacks and 2 takeaways for that defense. So Coaldale wins with defense. Unionville gets an 84-yard bomb, 84-yard TD pass by Hill. Not good enough. Next up, to wrap up Week 6, is Central City at Springfield. That will absolutely wrap up Week 6. And then I have Week 7. Then it's playoff time. And I will have finished my 52 season. So 51's in this book. 52's in this book. I was, obviously, you can see I thought I would have it done by June. And we are in August. So clearly I was sidetracked by the development of gridiron football and by other things I was working on and doing, kind of pushed this onto the shelf. Playtime kind of went away for play testing of stuff and for making stuff and also playing other things. But there you have it, folks. That is a big win for Coaldale. That's going to keep Coaldale on the top and headed for at least a home field playoff spot, I do believe. Again, somebody had asked what is the way to start if they were going to purchase one of my football games. What would be the way to start because they want to make their own league. And I gave them a list of our games that all have league creation. But this is the one I recommend for value because you have all those things plus stat simulation, plus a full automated simulator. What's great about the automated solo gameplay is you don't even have to call plays, you just roll the dice. We know offense and defense are accounted for because they blend to create the quality of your offense against this defense. And we have that same quality affects the quality of our special teams throughout the game. And then we have finders for who caught passes or touchdowns, carries, sacks, fumble recoveries, interceptions. And then we also have basic touchdowns and turnovers if you don't want to go back and roll this chart for the touchdowns. Generally, when I'm playing with this game setup and I'm using this chart for touchdowns, then I usually stick with this chart when I roll a automatic touchdown on these tables back here. So pretty cool. So that would be the one I would recommend if you're starting and you want to be able to build teams and have options, right? More options. So as you saw here, I played 3 quarters and then I simulated 3 quarters with the possession charts. And then I played the last, we got Central City at Springfield. and then I played the last quarter full sim. And again, I'm using 16 possession games for my big country football leagues. You can certainly use 18 possession games, 20, 22, 24, whatever kind of scoring algorithm you think your league should have. So if you wanted to, let's say, simulate the 1980s or Canadian ball, then I would go to 20 or 22 possessions. If you wanted to simulate American pro football in the last 10 years, I would go with 20 to 22 possessions. We're talking about scoring averages, right? All right, so this football field is available free. This is what's called my quick field. You can download this PDF and print it out. I printed it on green, but you can print it on any color you want. And you can put your little index cards of your teams, whatever quick play game you're playing. Gridiron works for Gridiron. Well, Gridiron you don't need a full field, so Gridiron doesn't have a full sim. But you could use this for pen and paper football. You could use this for football time, for Parallax football, big country football, 2D20. All your teams should fit on index cards. So that's what that's designed for. So, all right, everybody, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.